And this meeting has been recorded, and I'm going to post this meeting after it's done in the YouTube page. If some of you need any explanation in Spanish, at the end of each point, let me know, and I can make like a little bit summary of what is happening if you get lost in the middle, so I can help you out with that. Okay, thank you.
Ready? Ready to go?
Ready. And you
All right,
are
everybody.
able to share your screen.
Yeah, let me make sure.
Yes,
Yes,
you are.
I'm good. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm Jan O'Brien. I'm very excited to go over all of this with you, but I will tell you, I'm going to start with some best practices for all of us about getting in the right mindset of what you have to do to double your income and to be successful overall in the business. Then I'm going to take the first 15, 20 minutes to talk about this because it's very important to set up the right things. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into my KvCore. I have a team in Las Vegas. I've been a broker since way too long, 1992, 93, 92 actually is when I got licensed. I just moved to Florida. I'm living in the Wesley Chapel, north of Tampa area, and I just got my Florida license. And I really love KvCore. So I like to train on in KvCore to get you motivated about how important it is to learn this system that La Rosa Realty provides to you. I mean, it is a very expensive program that if you went to get it on your own, I have to pay, I'm paying $1,000 a month to have the same programs for my team. Okay. So let's jump in. I am going to share my screen here, and I have a presentation first, then I'm going to go into my KvCore and show you, exactly, I want to go through. Well, I'll show you what I'm going to go through here in just a second. But let's start with what I call the 5 daily disciplines to double your income. Okay. Now, these are the 5: having a morning routine, designing a perfect week. This is very important because I coach people all over the country. And these are the things that I find if people were to follow them, they will increase their income. They will blow away what their goals are for the year. But it really requires, this business requires some discipline. You have to really work harder than in some cases than you ever did in any other job. But the benefits are huge because if you have a discipline to continue to put people into your pipeline, you're going to like the real estate business. Now, some of you listening may just want to close so many transactions. That's fine. You can, if you just say, look, I just want to close 4 or 5 deals a year because I do something else. Okay. I'm still going to cover ways that you can do this today. If you really want to make this real estate business your sole income source and be successful and double or triple the income you've made in the past, then you definitely need to listen up to what I'm going to talk to you about today. So designing your perfect week, the key to everything is generating business every day, 1 to 2 hours. And today I'm going to really show you how to spend at least an hour, 2 if you can, 5 days a week to continually bring business in. I also want to talk about how you have to be knowledgeable about the business. You have to know the local market. You have to really understand so you have confidence to be able to feel good about picking up the phone and talking to someone. And then I'm going to have you review certain skills that you might need to work on. And let's go into it one by one. All right. So what I mean by a morning well-being practice, this is how I start every day. I really firmly believe that your mindset, how you feel every day, directly impacts how your day goes. So my recommendation is you set aside 30 to 60 minutes before you jump into the craziness and the chaos that is our real estate world by taking time for yourself. Now, I know many of you have families, you have kids at home schooling, all kinds of things are going on, especially this year. You still need to find some time, even if it's just 15 minutes. So what I'm saying is don't jump up and the very first thing you do is pick up this and start looking at the news and your email and Twitter and all that, okay, Facebook. Take a few minutes to find what works for you. For me, I do meditation, but it could be prayer. It could be reading something. It could just be doing some yoga or taking a walk. Or if you have a dog, for example, take a walk, but do it mindfully. I'm telling you, this can make the difference in how the rest of your day works. Find a way to do this. I highly recommend looking at The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. This is such a great program. just a great inspirational. This guy has cheated death twice. In his 20s, he was in a head-on car accident with a drunk driver. Nobody thought he was going to live. He did, and he wrote a book about it. And he uses this thing called SAVERS over here. SAVER stands for silence, meditation, or prayer. A is affirmations, which I believe if you turn your goals into affirmations and say them every day, it's going to assist you to, hold on one second. Sorry. I have a little dog here, and it's going to drive me crazy if it doesn't get up here and sit behind me. I know you guys understand that, but we don't want her barking. She'll be cool. She's my backrest, okay? So affirmations, turn your goals into affirmations. V is visualization, taking a minute to just look and visualize your future. What do you want to have happen to you this year? E is exercise, R is reading, and S is scribing or journaling, okay? So I recommend finding something. Do that for yourself first. In Hal Elrod, miraclemorning.com, halelrod.com, he talks about just 1 minute, 6 minutes of just doing that is enough to help you get into the mindset. So nobody here listening can tell me, I don't have time for that, Jan. You have 6 minutes you can squeeze in. Start from there and then give yourself 30 minutes if you can. Now go take care of personal hygiene, getting ready, dress for success, eat a good breakfast. You know, we as realtors are horrible about taking care of ourselves. We're on the go, we're running, we're eating fast food. So you do need to take care of yourself. That's how you're going to do better in your overall world, okay? So win the morning, win the day. That's what that's all about. Next, I recommend that you design and do your best to stick to a perfect week. Here's what most of us do in the business. We don't control it. The client controls us. Most of us feel like, oh my gosh, I have no control in my schedule. It's so chaotic. My clients want this. There's always fires and transactions. And that is true. So the way that you can start controlling it is you've got to set expectations with your clients. You need to do your best to design a week that has flexibility, but at the same time, you have these key things in your schedule. So this is what I want you to stop doing. Stop filling your schedule with all these things that don't involve income producing activities. So let's reverse that. Number one, you put your personal time in. I definitely think we all need more life-work balance. You don't need to work 7 days a week. You can set expectations for the time that you take off. Put that into your schedule first. All right? Do your morning routine. Put that into your schedule. I color code my schedule. If you see my calendar, I have a different color for different types of events. I recommend you do the same thing and you really live by your calendar. And if some of you like using a day planner, you know, the good old fashioned day planner, I'm all right with that, but I have to recommend that you really move to an online version. You're in the field a lot. You got to live and die by this smartphone, which has your calendar. KvCore has a mobile app that you need to download and put on your phone because in the field, you can pull up your contacts. You can make phone calls from anywhere. You don't have to log into your computer to get to KvCore. So make a note, download the mobile app, which is your version of looking at your KvCore out in the field anywhere, okay? All right, so after you schedule your personal time, I want you to put 1 to 2 hours a day, at least 1 hour, that you are going to build business. And I'm gonna show you today exactly how to spend that hour in KvCore and how to use KvCore to help you know who you need to contact, call, text, and so forth. 1 hour a week, I keep saying a week, a day. 1 hour a day where you are working on building your pipeline, nurturing your leads, contacting your database. If you don't do this, guys, you're going to have what inevitably many agents have, which is the ups and downs of real estate, meaning you have a couple deals, then all of a sudden you got nothing, right? And then you go for a few months and you don't have anything. I'm going to show you how you can consistently have closings if you follow these guidelines. Now you have your client appointments in there. Those happen, all right? Then I also recommend blocking out 1 to 2 hours a week. Now it's just a week so you can work on your business. When I'm coaching, I'm helping people make their business more organized by putting systems in place and how do they stay in touch with their database and various things that you need to do, but you've got to carve out some time to work on being better with your business. Then everything else goes onto your calendar. Now, if you're hearing what I'm saying, most everyone that I know goes the other way. They put all these other things in, getting ready to get ready, I call it, going to a training class. I'm not saying coming to this class is not important, but I'm saying if your whole week is filled with, I'm getting ready, I'm taking this class, I'm running around, I'm doing admin, and there's no lead generation time, you're not going to have a successful business, okay? So that's design your perfect week. Now, in that 1 to 2 hours that you're scheduling a day for lead gen, put it on your calendar, give it a color. I personally would give it green. Green is the color for lead generation, okay? It's going to help you make money. It's not negotiable. It means if you take it off because something else comes along, you need to move it someplace else in your schedule. I want to ask you a question, okay? And this is just a rhetorical question. Think about this for a second. Let's say you all have an appointment tomorrow at 10 o'clock for a $1 million listing. Okay. I just really want you to hear this. You have a $1 million listing appointment tomorrow. You've been referred. You pretty much feel like you're going to get this. And then a buyer calls you today and says, hey, Jan, I finally have some free time. Can you take me out and show me these homes? I have a couple homes I want to go see because I was on your website. And I want to go from 10 to 12 tomorrow is the only time I can do it this week. Can you help me show houses tomorrow? Now, what are you all going to do? You know, are you guys going to say, oh, let me cancel my $1 million listing appointment and take that? No, here's what you're going to do. You're going to say, hey, Bob, I have an appointment from 10 to 12 tomorrow. Here's some other times available because you know what? You can work it out. You're going to figure it out. Now, let's change that. Let's say your block of time is 10 to 12 daily to make calls. And someone calls and says, that same Bob calls you up and says, I want to go look at houses tomorrow. What are you all going to do? Yeah, absolutely. I'm free. Let me cancel that appointment with myself. Okay. You're going to cancel that appointment. You wouldn't if it had been a $1 million appointment. And here's what I want you to hear me say. I want you to think that that appointment you keep with yourself to lead generate is a $1 million appointment because it could lead to that. If you consistently do this, that's how you're going to get business. Now, I say that as a crazy story because I want you to really understand that you're not controlling your schedule. You're not keeping a commitment to yourself, but you'll certainly take an appointment and you'll tell that Bob, you'll figure out another way to work with Bob. You'll find a solution. You'll get someone else to help. You'll get another agent to help, and then you'll take it back. You'll figure it out. But we're very, very quick to cancel that appointment with ourselves. Enough on that. The CRM, your KvCore is going to be the tool. I'm going to show you how to let KvCore help you stay disciplined to have that hour a day. All right. Now, if you need help, you guys have a great broker in Maria. She is awesome. She is all about coaching. You guys need to help each other out. If you're the kind of person who's not going to stick to this and you know you need some help, find an accountability partner. Find someone right now that's listening or in the room with you there, those of you guys that are in the training room, and say, hey, you be my partner. Let's hold each other accountable that we're going to do this. Do whatever it takes. If you really want to be successful in this business, you're willing to do whatever it takes. Okay? I like Zoom meetings for this. A great idea is to get a group of people that say, you know, twice a week, we're going to get on a Zoom meeting and we're all going to hold each other accountable. We're going to role play and practice if we need to for a script. We're going to mute just like we're doing here. Everybody has to be visible. All you guys that aren't showing me your video right now, you would have your video on, you'd mute and you'd make your phone calls. All right. Awesome way to help each other. I do this with my team and it helps everybody stay accountable. And it's a great way for you to do it. So you need to practice 10 to 15 minutes a day of your scripts. And here's what I mean by lead generation time. It's all calling sessions, things I'm going to show you today, calling leads, calling your sphere, people that you know. If you farm, expireds, FSBO, whatever it is that you are working on, your niche, that calling, circle prospecting, calling around a new listing. If the company has a new listing or a new sale, it's things like that. Calling distressed properties. It's any active text conversation. It's not sitting down and doing a mass email though. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about dialing, texting, using video if you have video. KvCore has an add-on for video, which I like. If you like video, that's very powerful to make connections with people. And then even doing open houses where you hold an open house and no one comes to the open house, you use that time to make phone calls, right? That's what I mean by lead generation. All right, next one, you must be an industry and a local market expert. Why? It's your career. if we were all going to get together and go buy a new business that sold, sandwiches, we would become an expert at sandwiches. What kind of sandwiches, everything about running the business, what it takes to make the best sandwich, okay? We are selling real estate. We have to know everything that's going on that impacts our business. So I'm going to give you some ideas of how you do this. Now, why I have this as a daily discipline is because every day you need to work a little bit on getting better. Your skills, whether that's a class, whether that's taking a few minutes to watch something, and you'll see in a minute how I mean. All right. So here's why I think this is so important. Many of you are afraid to pick up the phone and talk to someone. Here's why. I don't know what to say, Jan. I think they're going to worry about I'm bothering them. I know, I was there. I didn't like making calls either. I had to shift my mindset into I have some value. I'm a trusted advisor. I'm confident about what I do. I'm going to share that with people today. When you generate leads, I'm going to show you today how to generate leads with your KvCore on Facebook, for example. And if somebody fills that out and comes to your website, they're interested in knowing about a house. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and talk to them. You're going to feel more confident if you are knowledgeable about our business, okay? It gives you conversation starters. It lets you create content, blogs, videos, YouTube channel, because you feel good about talking about what's happening in the market. Or, my gosh, where you guys are, there is so many new homes going, so many new construction. How many of you feel like if I was to call you, you could tell me all about the new homes and the builders and all the deals and what's standing inventory? Could you talk to me about that? If not, you know what? You need to go out and look. Go check it out. Go visit the new home places. Get New Home Source Professional. I know you have access to that through your board, through your MLS. New Home Source Professional. I think I talked to Maria about it. That is where it's like a MLS for new homes. There's ways that you can use that to generate leads. All right, so you want to become the trusted go-to advisor. Now, I mean, you need to master not just the things I'm talking about here, but trends, housing trends, what's happening locally. Florida Realtors and the counties that we're all in, they put out some of the best statistics about what's happening. It's excellent by county. You need to dial in and get that information every month and be comfortable about to explain it to someone who's not in the industry. What does it mean? We're in a seller's market. What does that mean to the buyer? What does a buyer have to be competitive in this market? We're going to stay in this low inventory market for a while, everyone. I mean, we have a beautiful market that we're in. Here's the bad part, right? Not enough homes. What does that mean for you? Huge opportunity to go be a better listing agent, is in my opinion. Lots of new homes are selling. You need to get up to speed on new homes so that you have to adapt to what is happening in the market. Interest rates are projected to stay low. Maybe for the next 2 years, they're going to stay low. Eventually, we're going to get some more inventory. I don't know when. We'll see with the COVID, the vaccine. Maybe people are okay with putting their houses on the market. There's all these things. You have to feel comfortable talking about this, is what I'm saying to you, okay? So you have to understand what's happening with the economy, what's happening in Congress that's impacting our industry, any kind of news, everything obviously about the real estate transaction from A to Z, the laws, the regulations. This is what the La Rosa keeps you on up to, and Maria and your meetings are going to keep you up to date on those things. So you must stay tuned in. And you must know about types of transactions, meaning, do you understand about probate? Do you understand when somebody says, I want to do a 1031 exchange? You may not have come into contact with that, but you will eventually. You could refer it, but why don't you just go learn about it? Do you understand iBuyers? Florida has iBuyers. Those are the guys that are like Open Door, OfferPad, that are telling people and advertising, I can buy your house and you don't have to put it on the market. Did you know you can get compensated for that? Do you know about Trio, lease to own programs like knockeasy.com and Think Trio? Those are things that are here in Florida. You must know about all these different programs, and so that you feel confident. This is what I mean by being an industry expert. Now, how do you do that? Well, daily, log into the MLS. The stats are always there. Know how many houses expired, how many houses are on the market. You can look at this daily. You can also look at it monthly. You can just preview listings in the MLS. You can use KvCore to look at listings. I'll show you that. You have New Home Source to look at new construction online. Obviously, go visit and preview listings. Go visit builders You'll feel more confident talking to people about the inventory. All right, what else can you do? You need to, I already mentioned these things, but I would recommend, there's one thing I really like called Keeping Current Matters. I'll send a link to you, Maria, on this. I have a referral link that gets you a $25 gift card if you sign up for it. This is for the folks that are really serious, that want information, want to be able to get, they do a monthly report for us as a realtor to say what's happening nationally and give you slides to be able to share information and graphics to slide with, to share with your clients. They also have a home guide, a home selling guide and a home buying guide in English and in Spanish that they do every quarter. It's like $25 a month. I really use it. I use it every day. I get a blog post every day from KvCore and I put it in my blog on KvCore. Okay, I'll show you that in a minute here. You also need to go get access or subscribe to some real estate channels like Inman. Realtor.com has great information, Housing Wire, DS News. I'll give you this slide deck, Maria, so that you can pass this to everybody. I actually have a document that has the links and stuff in it. Okay, but get the information coming to you. So every day you just take a few minutes and look and say, what's happening? You don't need all those sites, but you need to find one you like and you trust, and it'll keep you updated on what's happening. And then, of course, real estate transactions, laws, regulations, taking classes, continuing ed. The brokerage is going to help you stay up with that. All right, last thing here before we jump into KvCore. I want you to look, I'm going to walk through these skills, and all I want you to do is, as I'm talking to you here, jot it down later, do it now, rate yourself 1 to 10 on how well you know these things. So the first one, these to me are the skills you need to be successful in this business. You have to be good at communicating and listening. Now, communication means understanding how your client wants you to communicate with them. Do they want you to text? Do they want you to email? Do they want you to call? Do they want you to send a message on Facebook? What do they want? You have to ask. You need to also be the first one to communicate with your client. Most complaints, as a broker, most complaints I would get would be somebody would call me and say, Johnny is not talking to me. I never hear from him. This is one of the biggest issues in real estate from a broker's standpoint, is people not communicating with their clients enough. You need to talk to your clients before they call and say, what's going on with my transaction? Okay. Listening means you actually stop when someone's talking to you and you're not multitasking, you're listening, you're giving them eye contact, and you understand what they said to you. So I might say, Maria might be talking to me, and then I'll listen. I have eye contact, and I say, Maria, so what you're saying to me, if I heard you right, you want to wait to put the house on the market till next week because you want to go ahead and have the cleaners come in, do this, handle that, and then I'm going to have the photographers come out. Did I get that right? That's clear communication and active listening. Next, prospecting and converting. Do you know how well are you doing on prospecting? Do you need to work on skills? Do you need to practice what to say? Do you know how to convert a lead? What do you need to work on? You need to identify this, and you can let Maria know, these are the things I feel like I need some help with. I know she'll help put all that training. I know you already have tons of training to help you with this. Next skill, presenting and qualifying. Presenting means you can sit down and conduct a buyer consultation. You feel confident, you look professional. You can explain to them why they should work with you, why they shouldn't go out to the new homes without you. Handle all those objections. And then in qualifying, that's what you're doing. You're asking the right questions, getting them with a lender, and the same thing on the seller side. A seller wants to know 3 things. The goal of the seller, in my opinion, is 3 things. Get my house sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time and inconvenience to me. So your presentation needs to address those things. How are you going to do better than anyone else to make those things happen for them? All right. Negotiating and closing. Are you good at finding that win-win? Do you have good closing skills when you show property? Are you picking up that they're ready to buy and you know how to close and get them to write the contract? These are all skills we all need to work on. Finally, problem solving and conflict resolution. Every transaction generally has some problems, issues, right? And I'm going to share this with you. If you want to have issues happen in a transaction, think about the commission, all right? I call it commission breath, right? If you are only focused on, I need this deal to close so I can pay my mortgage or my rent or my bills, you will exude all of this energy that is going to cause problems to happen in your transaction. This is just a universal principle. I've seen it for 30 years. Don't focus on the money. Focus on your clients. Be all these things I'm talking here. Be professional. Totally take care of your clients first, and the money comes. All right. That's my last little point on that. And really, how you work on these skills is you identify what you need to work on. Practice, again, get an accountability partner, take some training classes. Experience is going to help you. There are designations and certifications that you can take for some of these things as well. All right. So any questions on just that overview? Because I wanted to spend the most of the time now, and we're going to go into KvCore, and I'm going to put those principles to practice here for you. Okay. Are we good? I don't have the chat up. So Maria, you let me know if there's any questions. All right. So here's what I'm going to cover. And then I'm going to go into KvCore. I want to talk about how you can stay focused and organized and use the dashboard in KvCore and the filters that are in your CRM to tell you who you need to call each day. I want to chat with you about best practices to follow when you do have a contact. This is just going to allow you to turn KvCore into your virtual assistant. I'm going to share a couple dialogues and scripts and things with you to talk to your database and even leads. And then I want to show you 5 ways to use the tools inside of KvCore to generate leads, okay? Generate leads with your database, and even, to go in and put them on Facebook and so forth, okay? So let's dive into this. I'm inside of my KvCore, which is my Las Vegas version of KvCore. So when you see all these houses, yes, this is the Las Vegas. We call this the Vegas vanilla. Most of these houses look the same, right? I haven't looked at a lot of Florida real estate, but I'm in the dashboard of my KvCore, okay? My team's KvCore. So this is the first things I want to talk to you about. Best practices right in here. Now, when you first log in on a daily basis, I recommend that you do this hour and you log into KvCore. You could do this in the field if you have the app. And so if you haven't already downloaded the app, it'll show you here. But you should just go to the App Store if you're an iPhone user. If you're an Android user, go to Google Play and just type in KvCore mobile app and download it to your phone. Okay, then you'll have a baby version of everything I'm going to show you here on your phone. Okay, that's part 1. The next thing that you need to do, if you haven't already done so, let me just talk about this, is you really need to have the smart number. The smart number, you all have what's called a smart number in KvCore, and the easiest way to find that is to come up here where your name is, and you're going to see, I think it's right here under phone. Let me make sure that's where it is. I don't know what your smart number is, Maria, but when you go to phone, you'll have, the brokerage has a smart number assigned. And how the smart number in KvCore works is it's what's going to help do automatic texting for you, and it's going to give you notifications. So put the number in your phone and save it as KvCore lead. Save that number as KvCore lead. That way, after you start working like the things I'm going to show you today, you put your database in here and you start doing some lead generation. And if somebody starts interacting and wants information, you're going to get a notice. You're going to get a text and an email that tells you somebody just asked a question or whatever. Okay, so those are 2 key things to do right off the bat. But let's talk about that daily discipline of coming in. Very first thing I want to talk about is what I call opportunity calls or connections. Once you actively get KvCore working for you, when you log in, so first of all, you should have all the people you know in KvCore, friends, family, anybody that you've done past business with, okay? They need to be uploaded. You can put them in a spreadsheet. KvCore will actually import them for you if you do that. If there's a way, I'll show you. I can show you in a moment here. If we have some time, I'll show you how these other things, how to do that. But you can also just add a contact. When I go to this CRM, I'll show you how to add a contact. But what I call opportunity calls is right now on this dashboard, this lady, Barbara Key, was on our site 16 hours ago. And what this tells me right here, she looked at something that's $350,000. She looked at this house for $415,000. A couple other things. She was on her desktop. You see that? If this was this little mobile thing, if that would tell me she was looking on her phone. Now, if right from here, I can do a couple things. I can click on her name. I can come into her contact. and I can see anything. I can very quickly look and see what's the story with Barbara. When did she first come onto my site? First of all, let's look. She was active yesterday. She's been on my, she's had 3 views this week, a total of 15 views right here. Okay. I could come into the timeline. This is called a timeline. And I can see, I'm gonna go to the bottom of the timeline so I can see how this person came in. We run ads on Facebook and stuff. So this is one of my leads. It went to Katie on my team. She's been added to our campaign 45-day connection. An automatic text went out from the system that says, "Hi, Barbara, you're interested in that beautiful home in Henderson. I have to say you have some great taste. When do you want to go see it?" Okay. It does all this. Everything that ever happened with this text that went out. This is an automatic text. Have you connected with a lender yet? That's an automatic text. Now look, the person's responding. No, we don't. We don't plan on selling for at least a year. We will not need a lender. All right, well, now we have a conversation. Now we could even try calling and saying, great, let me give you a call. Let me put, I want to actually talk to my agent, make sure she's done this. She needs to call this lady and make sure she's had a conversation to say, you want to sell in about a year. I'm going to put you on a campaign, not a campaign. I'm going to put you on a report every month. It's just going to tell you what's happening in the neighborhood. You can do this right here in KvCore with a market report right here. You can add a new market report for her area or neighborhood. So I can see everything I can do. So see, I don't know anything about this lady, but I'm already learning enough looking at this that I could feel comfortable picking up the phone and having a conversation with her. That's what I mean by an opportunity phone call. What she has looked at. Now, from here, I can do a couple things. I can schedule a call. I can send her a text right from here. I can send a text from KvCore. It's not coming from your phone. The smart number allows you to go back and forth with a text that you'll be notified. You can't directly text unless you're in your app or you're here inside of the desktop using the text function. This is what I tell people. Let KvCore do the heavy lifting for emails and texting until you make a connection with them and they want to go look at houses or they want to list a house. Now, switch them over to your phone. Does that make sense? You use the smart number for nurturing the leads until they're ready. This lady doesn't want to do anything for a year. She probably doesn't want to be bothered. But guess what? She likes looking at houses. You know why? Everybody likes looking at houses. Everyone loves looking at houses. You guys have a beautiful website and a back office that it's one of the things I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. You need to share that fact with everyone you know. Get them off of Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin and onto your website, doing what Barbara here is doing. She's on our site looking at houses. Okay? That's what you want people to be able to do, even your friends and family. All right? So that's what I call an opportunity. Let me go back to the dashboard and show you a couple other things. So right here, I can go look at the next one. I can do the same thing. Right from here, I can send a text, send an email, or I can call. Now, let me show you this. This will help me show you a little bit about best practices for call. Now, I'm here. I could actually hit call right here, and KvCore would call me first. Then it would connect the consumer phone number if there's a phone number in here, and there is. Good. Oh my God, this lady has a cell phone. See, I mean, I'm calling my agent later to make sure she's been talking to this person because this is a real lead. So I will, you can do it this way. And then it will say, hold on, we're going to call Barbara at 619. Then it will connect with her where I can either leave a voicemail or have a conversation with her. Alternatively, I don't have to hit the call button. I could just go ahead and dial the number from my phone and try to talk to her that way. Either way, I just like the idea that if you do it from the system, it's going to log the call into your timeline. So if I was to make the call, it would put something on my timeline that says, you called and whatever. All right. So next thing you do is you log a call. So now I can put my notes in here, called her, left a voicemail, right? I can say contacted, not home, bad number. And then the next most important thing to do is schedule your next call. Now I'm going to repeat this again, because this right here that I'm sharing with you is the absolute best way to leverage KvCore to help you stay on track with who you should call. Okay. So let me go through that one more time. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to Jackie, and let's say I want to go ahead and I'm going to call Jackie. I first went and did my little work, see what the deal is with her, see what she's been looking at, because now I have a reason to call her. I can say, I can see, Jackie, that you're looking at homes that are in this area for this amount. I'd love to be able to talk to you a little bit more about that. If I haven't had a conversation yet with Jackie, I'm going to keep on trying to get her to talk to me. So with leads, you need to go for 30 to 45 days of keep trying to find ways to get the person to just talk to you, return your text like that lady did, Barbara, that said, we don't need a lender. We're not doing anything for a year. Fine. Now we can take her off the buyer. Katie could take her off best practice, the buyer campaign, and then have a conversation via text saying, you know what, I went ahead and just put you on a monthly report for your house that's just going to tell you what's going on in your neighborhood. Enjoy looking at my site. I'm here if you need me. And then she could say, 3 months from now, she could schedule the next call. You guys get where I'm going with this? This is how you use your system. So over time, you don't have to go, who should I call? What should I do? You sit down every day for an hour and you go, I just do what I'm showing you right now. I make opportunity calls first. So back to what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to go ahead and try to call Jackie, right? I can either call right here. The system is going to call me. KvCore is going to call me. Then it's going to connect Jackie. I try to get in touch with her. I leave a voicemail, or I pick up and I just basically dial that number and call her. I place the call. Then I log the call. I put my notes. It was an outbound call. I talked. I hit, as soon as you hit your information and then do schedule a call. Now I need to go do always schedule a next call. So I haven't talked to Jackie. I'm going to go 4 days and I'm going to try calling her again. All right. You decide what that is. You come down here, put some notes of what you want. You'll come in here and you'll say, I'm going to try calling her on Friday at 12 o'clock. And that's it. And I hit save. And that, I'm not going to do this because it will mess up my agent. If I hit save, let me show you what's going to happen. It's going to show up here in calls I need to make. When it's Friday, up here where it says calls, it's going to say 1 call. And if I was using this, it would come in and it would say, who are the people I need to call today? It will remind me if I have any past due calls. I can also see upcoming calls. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard. What did I just go over with you? Opportunity calls, people who have been on your website. You could spend an hour just going through this once you have leads, including your sphere of influence. Okay, so you can come down here and handle anybody that's been on your site recently. You can look at today's calls. If you have tasks to do because you're using the campaigns, these will be things like writing personal notes or adding people to another, if you're using like eProperty Watch or some other tool for evaluations and so forth. You might have tasks to do, but mostly you're going to click calls and it's going to tell you, hey, you got to catch up on your past dues. Here's what's due today and a reminder of what's coming up. Okay, that's opportunity calls. Now let's go to the Smart CRM. The Smart CRM is where all your contacts are. Okay, if you don't have enough opportunity calls in this hour, come over to your Smart CRM and you, let me just give it a second. Here's where all your leads are going to be. All your contacts are going to be in here. The next most important thing I can show you is how to sort the data. So let's say you wanted to work with all new leads today. So what you're going to do is use the filter situation that's in here. So you can come to filter and you can say, you know what, I want to only look at all new leads. Okay. All new leads. I will click on that and I will hit apply filter. Okay. Now what will happen is everything that's a new lead will be here. And now I can just simply choose a lead, come in here, see what's happened with this person, get all the information that I need, including more details and so forth that are down here. A lot of people miss this, by the way, over here in a contact. This is called more details. And under the more details is where you're going to see things like phones and other phone numbers or anything else that you have, including if you're using this right, you can even put in people's birthdays for your sphere. Another reason to call people, by the way, when did they sell a house with you? What's their anniversary date? You have so much information that you can put into KvCore here. But you'll be able to come in from your filter list of new leads and do the same thing. Start a call, send a text, just do something to stay in touch with people, okay? That's what you need to do every single day for an hour, okay? You can have, sort this data any way you want to so you feel comfortable with it, okay? So any questions so far? That is the dashboard and using the task, the CRM here to be able to look at that, okay? So, and I went over those best practices. Remember, you log your call, you keep on putting the information about what you learned, even if it's just left a message, and then you schedule your next call. Always, always schedule the next call. That's the absolute best practice for this, okay? So let's talk a little bit about ways to talk to your people that you know, all right? People that you know. So here's the deal.
Quick question, Jan, before
go
you
ahead.
do that. We can schedule like that, text and email?
Can you schedule an email?
And a text also, or just
absolutely. So if I wanted to talk to Chase here, I could just come in and do an email. So I'll be in the email composer. I could choose a template that's in my system already that I like, right? You have to know what the name of the template is, or I can simply just compose an email right from here and send it out, okay? It'll include my signature. There's a whole nother awesome function in KvCore called the advanced editor. I don't want to get into that today. That allows you to do like a newsletter or put graphics and videos and all kinds of things into a newsletter, into an email. But this is just a simple text email. This allows you to do so much more. So we can do more things around that if you'd like to. But yes, you can send an email. You can send, you can do any of these things right here for each person. Send an email, add a new note. If you just wanted to add a note because you found out something more about them, you can do that. And everything you do shows up here in the timeline. So you have a history of everything that you ever did with the person. Now, a couple of good practices that you can do. Let me stay in context for a minute, okay? So what you can do here, starting up here, if I had the person's name wrong, I can change that, right? Where the pencil was. See where it says new lead? Drop that down. This is your pipeline. Once you talk to a new lead, I would move them to prospect. If you start working with them, change them to active lead. This is your pipeline report. And then they become a client, then they're under contract, then they're closed. Archived means you don't really want to talk to them anymore, but you don't want to delete them. You can also set what type of contact they are. Are they a buyer? If they were a buyer, like that lady Barbara, she's a buyer and a seller. I could mark her buyer and seller and then hit save. I can also put stars. These are all ways you can filter your data, by the way. So use it. KvCore will assign stars based on an algorithm that says they gave you good information, they're on the site a lot, they'll do it. But you can also come in and say, hey, I talked to this person, they're a 4-star. Now, why is that important? Because later, let me get out of here and show you, later I can come over and say, I want to sort my data right here. I'm going to clear my filters, means get rid of the last filter I did. I'll come back to filter, and I want to come down and go to lead details here. And I can say I just want buyers, and I want buyers that have a 4-star rating. Also buyers that have a 4 and a 5-star rating. And then if I was to do apply filters, now I have just people who are a 4 and a 5-star that are buyers. You see that? So it's so powerful. KvCore lets you sort the data any way you want. So you can say, today I'm working on all my seller leads. Tomorrow I'm going to work on all my buyer leads. The next day I'm going to work on all my sphere of influence. So I would clear the filters. I'll show you this, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, filter, let me have people who are under here, sphere. All I want are people that are sphere. I would hit apply filter. And now I have everybody that's in my sphere. Now, the only way this works is you put contacts in and you put them in the type of status they are. And you give them a type, and you also use hashtags. Hashtags are the next, probably most important thing. I want to share how to use your hashtags. So let me just again open up anyone here. Here's a Maria Cruz. Okay. Now I will come in here and I'm going to come to see where all these hashtags are. This little plus sign. I could add any other hashtag. So this is basically, these are hashtags my team has, meaning we generate this lead for Tina. But if I wanted to put something else in here like buyer lead or whatever, I could type it in and hit enter and update the tags. Now I have, think of tags as categories. Tags are like, it's a buyer, but where did the buyer come from? So let's say you wanted to talk to everybody. Here's another example, Maria, while we're on this. Let's say you wanted to send everybody an email that ever came to one of your open houses, okay? You wanted to send them an email to maybe tell them you're having another open house. Let me give you a great example of how you could use hashtags for that. So let me get out of here and show you. Let me see if that even will come up. It might in my data here. So what I'm going to do is send an email and a text to everybody that ever came to one of my open houses because I used the hashtag open house. And then I'm going to do a mass text and a mass email to them. So let me show you how cool this is. Come to filter. Now what I have to do is come to lead details, and I'm in lead details. And right here where it says hashtag, let me just see if I happen to have one called open house. Open house, I do. So let me see if I have any in here called open house. Apply a filter. Awesome. Now, this is everybody in my team, right? There's 22 leads here, and I won't actually be able to do this because it's their private lead, but just go with me here for a second. I could select all of them, okay? Now I can do a mass text, right? I can select a text template that I have in KvCore, or I could just write a message. Hi, I'm holding another open house. Here's a link to where the property is. I hope you can join me. If you put the MLS ID in, it will actually drive people back to your website to the actual listing on your website. So I can do a mass text and send it right now to everybody that I just did. I can also do a mass email. I can now select a template that I already created. I could write an email, and then I could just like that send something out to everybody based on a grouping of people, okay? Is that helpful? Is that helping you understand how you can use this data?
Yes, and the good thing is that they receive the email customized, like you email only that person. They don't see that they are part of a group.
Yes, it's not, yeah, they'll only get it, but they'll all get it individually. That's the way KvCore works. It's not in a group email, but it saves you time from sending 100 emails. If you want to send one special email to 100 people, then that's what I like doing with the newsletter. Okay, we do a newsletter in our team, and I help prepare that, and then we send that out. Everyone sends the newsletter out once a month to their database, as an example, and we do it this way by scheduling an email. You can even schedule an email in here, so it's really, really cool. All right, so let me show you a couple things about your database that that I wanted to talk to you about. So here's what I want to share with you. Let me first show you how easy it is to add someone, right? So we'll add a contact, a one-off contact. You come to Smart CRM, add a contact. Very important, I show you a couple things. So all their information, see right here where it says enable permission to email, call, and text. If you don't do that when you add a person, they will not get your texts or emails. This is the permission-based piece. When you manually add someone, let's say you had an open house today, or you meet someone and you talk to them about what you do. This is what I want to talk about next. What can you talk to people about? How can you share things that you have so that you can get them into your database so that you can send them a report, or you can send them a monthly newsletter, for example, okay? But if you don't do this, they're not going to get it. It's like they're unsubscribed, okay? Very important that you check that. Then you can say, what are they? A buyer, seller, renter, vendor, agent. You can say what lead status they are, where they came from, and then put all this in, and then you would hit add, and now they'll be in your system. The other way you import the leads, let me show you that really quick, okay? Over here in Lead Engine. So if you put a spreadsheet, if some of you have not put your leads in KvCore yet, your database, your sphere, you can do Lead Engine bulk import, okay? Bulk import. You go to get started. Now, here's the easiest way. If you don't know how to do this, let KvCore do it for you. If you come here and you say submit a file, it will take you here. You come in here and it's a form. You simply fill this form out, attach the file, and they do it for you. I use this all the time with my team. When I have a new person join my team, I let them do it for me. Don't even hassle with it. Let KvCore do it for you. If you're into the technology, do this. Get started now. It has to be in a certain format. And I know technology, and this always frustrates me because I don't have it exactly right. So I let KvCore do it. So if you have go ahead.
How they need to send that list? Could be a PDF. It have to be a CSV.
It has to be exactly what it says in here. It's a CSV file. So right here, follow the instructions. It's going to say, CSV format only. That's a spreadsheet. So if you have Excel, you have Google Sheets, you can save the document as a .csv. It must be a CSV file, and then they'll handle it from there. Okay?
Okay.
But walk through this instructions here. It will tell you exactly what to do. Now, I will tell you also that here in KvCore, they have a, let me go to do it yourself. They have a file template right here. Max size 2 megs, must contain this row. Here is an example. I'll send this to you, Maria, okay? They actually have a sheet that you could use to put your information in that's compatible with KvCore. I'll send a template to you. You could share it with your agents, okay?
Okay. Questions. When they have their contact in the MLS, that they export the list is going to be in CSV file. Do you know if that CSV is compatible with this one?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
They'll help you with it. Yep. Any CSV file will work. That's a great solution, by the way. Export your contacts in MLS and put them in here. Now, when you export it in MLS, look at the headers. Make sure you've got like it's a buyer or a seller, because that'll help you. In fact, I will send you the template, Maria. I have 2 things that you should share with everybody, because if they look at that file, it will save them time. You guys will save time and import it so all those fields are filled out and you don't have to later go in and match it all up. You want as much information to come into KvCore so you can sort it and start working with it, okay? Now let's talk about what you can do to talk to people that you know. So I mentioned in my beginning part of the class.
I want you to repeat something. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Please.
What do you want to repeat it? And because they put in the chat, can you repeat that part, please? Which part?
Which part?
Maria, this is Gladys. It's the bulk import.
Oh, Gladys, that's the one that you just need to add your contacts and let KvCore do it for you.
But here, let me go through it again. You come to lead engine, bulk import, get started. Let us handle it. You go here, submit file. This is, and I recommend let them do it for you. Okay.
Yep.
Now I am going to send Maria today the actual format of the CSV file and a template that explains the rows. This will help you a lot. Okay. And if you follow this template before you do this process, all the data that you want, whether they're a buyer or a seller, are they sphere? Are they active? Are they a client? It will come into KvCore in the right place, okay? It'll save you time. So you come here.
Another question is, the template is created or we have to create the templates? Jennifer, you have templates created already there?
No, yes, here's the thing. It's a blank template. It's a blank template with the headers that you can use to put your information in. Or if you download from MLS, I'm just telling you that when you get this, you'll understand. The more information you have from that MLS export, the better. You might want to fix your MLS export by adding a couple columns so that information comes into KvCore nicely for you. Does that make sense? So I'm going to give you a blank template. The headers are first name, last name, email, phone number, etc., address. That's all going to be in there. You either have the data or you don't, but you have an opportunity to take your MLS export and clean it up before you give it to KvCore. Does that help understand better? Okay.
That's the template that she's talking about, is about the CSV.
Yes, it's called a CSV. I'm going to give that to you. You give it to everybody and it will help them. There's 2 documents. One is an example of what everything means, and the other is a blank CSV file with the headers that you can use so you'll have a nice clean import. Okay, this is big. I really like you're asking this question, because get your people step 1 into KvCore and start doing the things I'm sharing with you, and it makes you start to understand how to use KvCore. Don't be afraid of this program. This program has a learning curve. All of them have a learning curve. All of them take a while to learn. The best way to learn is just say, I'm going to do this 1 hour a day that Jan was talking about, and you're going to learn. Okay. There's lots of videos in here. You can take a whole course on everything that you need to do. If you don't understand how to do a bulk email, go to their help portal, their learning portal, or go to the support center. They have an article on how do I do a bulk email. It explains it. Okay. Very, very good stuff. So I want to really help you with a couple ideas for your database. Okay. Now, here are the main reasons to talk to people that you know. Do you know people's birthdays? One of the things you could do is go in and go to Facebook, right? If you're connected with people on Facebook, I bet you they have their birthday on Facebook, right? You can go get their birthday and you can come in here and you come to more details and you scroll down to where the birthday field is. It's over here somewhere. There's so much information in here. Here we go, birthday. Watch this. I could add a birthday, right? And put the date in and hit save. Now you see right here where it says send email and text. If I turn this on, I'll show you now next how you can go into KvCore and send an automatic email and a text out every single time it's somebody's birthday. You want to see how to do that? So
Yeah.
first, put the email in. Okay, put the birthday in. Great. So now I'm going to come in and go to another place where this lead stuff is. So it's actually, maybe it's under marketing. I think it's under marketing autopilot. Marketing autopilot. Yes. Birthdays and anniversaries. Watch this. Marketing pilot. Learn more birthdays and anniversaries. Okay. Now, what's an anniversary? The anniversary date of when you sold somebody a home. Okay. That's what that is. So first of all, you come in here one time and do these settings. This says send birthday emails, text to contacts with the following statuses: sphere, active. You got to turn them on. If you happen to know, frankly, I would just go with sphere and active. You're not going to generally know a prospect's birthday, but at least sphere and active. Okay. Now, next thing we do, this is the birthday. This is the anniversary of purchase. So do this same thing on both sides. KvCore already created a template called Happy Birthday Email. I'm going to show it to you, and they have a text. You can change the template. So let me come in here. And the very first thing that we do is, when do you want the person to get the birthday? Do you want it to be on their birthday? Do you want it to be the day before? Do you want it to be the day after? Why do they have that? Some people say, well, if they get so many birthdays on their birthday, maybe you stand out because you send something the day before saying, happy birthday tomorrow, okay? Or happy early birthday. That's up to you. I would do it on the date. Now, you would need to select a template I'm going to show you what the template looks like already that they have for you. It's very, very simple. That's it. Now, if you don't like that template, there's a whole other process. We have to go into the templates and build a new template, and that becomes your template, and then you choose the template you want to use. Okay. So in KvCore, you can design a template and say, I want my birthday template to look different, but you could use this one. Look how simple this is, right? It's your day. I hope it's a great day. It's nothing more about anything. Thank you for entrusting me with your real estate needs. It's going to have your signature in it, and it's going to have a link to go back to your website. I like it. It's simple. But if you want to do something better, you need to create a different template. But once I do this, and let me show you the template for the birthday. It's very simple. It's a text that would go to them from KvCore saying, just wanted to say happy birthday. Hope it's a great one. Are you doing anything fun in your name? Right? If you like it, keep it. If not, you change it. If you're going to change it. Now, here's what's beautiful. I have activated this. It's done. Now, whenever I have a person's birthday and I add it to the birthday field of their contact, they're going to get those two things. The only way it works is I got to have, Jaime's birthday in here. He's not going to get one until I come in here, go to more details, come to birthday. If he has a spouse, I can add a spouse birthday. The spouse's information has to be in here though. So add birthday, pick a date. Every year on that date, that person's going to get the text and the email. Okay. Love that idea. Same thing for the anniversary you can do. There's 2 touches in KvCore that you can do. Now, I will tell you, if you send an email and a text or even made a call to somebody on their birthday, do you know how many people don't get a call on their birthday anymore? Because everybody does it on Facebook or LinkedIn. You could stand out just by calling people in your database to say, happy birthday. I want to be the first to say happy birthday to you, even if you left a voicemail. Very, very powerful. People in their own family don't send a birthday call or a card, let alone a call. All right. Now, what else can you do? Guys, let me go to the front of my site. Okay, this is the front of my KvCore site. You have various tools here in KvCore that you can be sharing with people in your database. Remember when I was saying people love to look at homes? They do. Right now, if I was to, I'm going to tell you an easy way. When I finish up here today, I want to show you 5 other ways to put, I am going to share with you how to generate leads using Facebook and so forth. But right now, I just want to continue talking about sphere of influence. Okay. I know it's a lot of information, but we're recording it. You can come back and watch this again. It's a lot of stuff I'm covering. And I just want you to pick 1 or 2 things that you're going to work on. That's the only way to start making things better. I'm covering a lot of information. Just pick 1 thing you're going to work on this week. That's it. Just 1 thing. Get started. Otherwise, you'll feel overwhelmed. You'll overanalyze it and you don't do anything. That's a common mistake agents make. Oh, there's too much to do here. No, there's not. Get your data in here and start working on it. That's all I want you to do. I'm going to give you some easy ways to contact people in your database. Now, what do I have to be able to show people? So if people like looking at houses, and they do, even if they're not thinking about buying or selling, they're on Zillow, guys. They're on Zillow mostly. Realtor.com, Redfin are the other common ones, but mostly Zillow. And anytime somebody's house goes on the market in their neighborhood, they go to Zillow. Why? They want to find out what it's on the market for. You have that same ability to do this if you introduce your website to the people that you know. So this is an example of a phone call. Maria is in my database. She's a past client, or she's just a friend, never has referred business to me. I'm going to call her and I'm going to say, hi, Maria. I'm going to check in with her. Hi, Maria. I haven't talked to you in a while. How's everything going? How are you dealing with the, I know you have a couple kids. Are you having to do homeschooling? How's everything going? Whatever the situation is, start with that. Don't just call and say, hi, Maria, do you have a buyer or seller who might be interested in selling houses? No, we're not going to do that. I know Maria, I need to check in with her. I know you all have not contacted people just to talk to them and to let them know that you have some tools they might be interested in. This is what I'm talking about. I have 3 things that I could share with them right now. Number 1, so hi, Maria, we have a chat. And then I say, Maria, I know you may not be in the market. First of all, you don't know if they're in the market. You may assume there's no way Maria's moving, but Maria might surprise you and say, you know what, we've had some things happen during COVID and we've decided we're probably going to sell our house. These are opportunity calls, kids. You don't know unless you talk to them. But in me talking about how is she doing, what's going on, I may say, Maria, I don't know if you're thinking of buying or selling in the near future, but I find that everyone loves to look at houses, right? You need to write that down. I find that everyone loves to look at homes listed for sale. It's just a thing. Everybody does. That's why Zillow is so popular. But Maria, here's the problem with Zillow. And she might say, yeah, I definitely look at Zillow or whatever. So you have to say this, Maria, Zillow is a powerful advertising platform. In fact, my company has spent so much money, but here's the problem with Zillow. I know you probably like the way that you can search and so forth, but here's the problem. There's a lot of misinformation on Zillow. Do you know that anybody can just add information? I've had so many clients who've called me to say, hey, can you show me this house, Jan? And I would say, hey, it's not even a real listing, or it's an old listing. That's the problem with Zillow. You got to find a way to say this, because you want to say, but you know what? I have a couple things that I could share with you that is what I use as a local real estate agent, and it has only the active listings and only what's truly available. And it's my website. I don't know if I ever shared it with you, but I just wanted to let you know, and I'm just going to go ahead and send it to you in case you just want to, take a look at houses. If you want to come in and see what the house down the street is for on the market, you can come in just like Zillow and type it in, right? And find it right from there. So you got to introduce your website. So you can have a conversation, then have an email and a text with a link back to your website. That's an easy thing to share. The next thing that you have is you all have a button on your website called Home Value. You can basically send people to your home value area on your website and tell people, hey, just come on in here and you can get a monthly, just a monthly email that's going to be sent to you to tell you everything that's going on in the neighborhood, give you a range of value of your home. Now, here's the thing, Maria, that is not an accurate analysis for your home. It's a computer generated algorithm that's going to pick all the houses in the, in your area and come up with a range. If you're really thinking about selling your house, you got to give me a call, because I'll do the research. I know a little bit about your house. I need to see if you've done any upgrades recently. Then I'm going to go do the research and I'll give you what I think the value is if you really needed to sell. But in the meantime, once a month, you'll get this nice report. It'll just tell you what's happening in the area. Okay. That's the second thing that you could tell people that own a home. And it's all in your KvCore. Now, there's a mobile app that goes with this KvCore that they were I don't know if they were continuing to work on it, but if you don't, whether you use the one from KvCore Millions Map, we need to check with KvCore to see if it's still going to be a good app. I had read something about they were going to look for a new app to use, but you may have through your local association, I don't know, I'd have to ask Maria, an app, a different app, a mobile home search app that people can download and they have a different experience searching on their phone. This is a mobile friendly website. So if somebody goes to your website on their phone, they can still search for houses and save a search and all that. But you can also share an app. The last thing that you can share, I have to do a different video training for you on this. But if you do use New Homes Source Professional, which I know you have because I'm looking at it right now for Florida to learn Florida new homes, so I can learn the market. You can add a little widget like this to your KvCore and watch what happens. If I come in here as a consumer, it takes me over to my New Home Source website. You all have access to this where people can search for houses. See, I know you have access to this. Watch this. I can come up here and I can choose Kissimmee, Florida, right? Let me go in here and look. Boom. Here's all the houses you guys have to sell. This is a national database of new homes that we have access to as realtors, that the new homes pay these people to put their information up, and that way agents will use it to try to sell houses. So if you haven't used New Home Source Professional, highly recommend you go check it out a little bit, and you can actually tie that in. Now, I just shared 4 things that you could share with people that would help you generate with people that you know, so they can go look at houses, and you just have to make sure you're familiar with it and share it. Okay, so that's 4 easy ways that you can do some things here. I want to, unless somebody has a question right now, go ahead and ask, unmute yourself and ask. I'm going to move on to ways that you can do some lead generation to generate new leads. So that was how to talk to people that you already know. By the way, when you generate a lead, you're going to have the same conversations with people. It's going to be easier because they're going to come to your website where maybe they have set up they will have set up an account where you can see what it is that they are looking at, and they'll already be on your website using your website, very much like these leads are doing on my team. These people are using our website. All right, before I show you 5 ways to lead generate, I want to show you that probably the most effective thing Zillow does really well that gets people coming back to their website, you actually have the same tool. And it's called search alert. So let's go see if Barbara has a search alert. Now, this lady came in from a Facebook ad, okay, to one of my agents, and they're working on getting her. This is the lady who needed to sell a house first, is not ready to buy one. However, she answered the ad. We ran an ad on a particular house. She was interested in it because people like to look at houses, and she's been on the site looking at homes, okay? Now, I'm going to come over here and see she's on a search alert because the system set the alert up as soon as she completed a form, or we did it through a Facebook form, and she started looking on our site. It put a search alert in here for her because she looked at things between 350 and 420,000 in Las Vegas and Henderson, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. She's getting a search alert. This is it right here. In KvCore, just like in MLS, you have an ability to put in 2 different alerts, search alerts. This one, first one, the system created it. After I talked to Barbara, I could come in and modify the parameters and get it more specific after I talked to her. I could also, if she wants 2 different areas of town or 2 different cities, I could set up a second alert, okay? So I could have alert 1 and alert 2. This right here is the biggest reason people keep coming back to the site. Because on your behalf, what happens is KvCore says every time a new listing that meets that person's criteria comes up, it sends them a nice email with pictures that say, just like Zillow, with pictures that say, here's some more properties you might like looking at. And guess what people do? They click on them and they come back to your website. That right there is the most important thing you can do with people that you know that are looking, and leads that are looking, is get them on a search alert. That will be the best way to get people to keep coming back to your site until they're ready. All the other things you do, automatic follow-ups, whole nother talk for another day, helps too, but search alerts are the absolute best thing to do. All right, so let's talk about how do you use these things to generate a lead. So the first thing is the home value page. Now I'm going to come into lead engine, and I'm going to show you a few quick things that are in here for landing pages and squeeze pages, okay? So first, I'll explain the difference here in a minute, but this is a squeeze page, okay? So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do it from, you're only going to have your site in here. I have team members on mine. You're just only going to have your domain. You hit start building, okay? Now, when I come to start building, it's going to say multi-property, single property, a seller squeeze, or a market report. These are 4 different things that you can do in KvCore that you can, so the first one I'm going to do, I'll demonstrate them all right now. Seller squeeze, that's what I'm going to do first. So all we're going to do is we're going to, in the sources, I'm going to say, I'm going to put it on Facebook. So if later I get a lead from this, I want to know, did my advertising work? So this is Facebook as an example. Hashtag, this is going to be a way for you to say, I'm just going to call this home value Facebook. I put that in because later, if I want to go, I want all the leads that came from my home value ad that I ran. You could sort that way. All right. So now I am going to put in Clark County. I have to kind of put in the name of my county. You could put in your city. And then I hit generate a link. Okay. So it generates my link. There's a direct link and a short link. I'm going to see how both of them look. All right, now I'm going to copy this. I'm not going to close this, and I'm going to come over to Facebook, okay? So let me come to my Facebook page. This is an absolutely free way that you can just put this on your Facebook and see if anybody in your Facebook friends will do this, right? So let me come to my regular Facebook page, or even just my profile. I would put this even on my profile, and put it on your page as well. So what's on my mind? I'm going to do a new post. I am pasting that link. Now look what happened. The average price in Clark County is $638K. What's yours worth? That is not the average sales price, by the way. So now that I've seen that, because it's pulling everything in, so I'm going to change that. I don't like that did that. So let me come back to the KvCore, and I think I'll change this. Instead of Clark County, I'm going to put a zip code in, or I'll just put I'll direct this to people that are in Henderson. You guys will pick your city. So I'm going to say Henderson, okay? And then I have to generate a new link. So let me try that again, and let's see if it's a little bit more. By the way, the average sales price in Las Vegas and Henderson is about $350 or $360. Okay, so let me try that again, and delete this, and I'll put the new link in. Just by putting this link in, yeah, that's still wrong. Is $936K. What's yours worth? Well, you know what? I would probably still run this because it's taking everything, and there are homes that are in higher price. I wish the average sales price was $936. But now what I can do is I can delete this link because it's already there. Now I can say something, you know, interested in knowing the value of your Henderson home, right? Just click the link below. You could do all that, right? So let me just go ahead. I would need to put in my information. You got to be compliant. So I'm going to have to put in my information, my license number. These are things we have to do in Nevada. I don't know what you have to do here. I'll be learning soon enough. But let me just start with that because I'll be taking this post down. Now I can post this. All right. Now, if I wanted to be able to run an ad to this, I have to do this from my business page. Okay, so that's just in my database. That's people that know me that are on my Facebook, but I would have to come to my Facebook page. Here's my Facebook page, Urban Nest, O'Brien Robbie Team, and I'll put that same link on here because I just want to show you how easy it is to boost a post on Facebook without having to know Facebook ads. So let me do the same thing here. And
while you are waiting there, this is the same thing that KvCore does when you paint them Facebook ads.
Yes, I'm going to show you that next. I'm going to show you an easy way to get leads and let KvCore do a property boost for you. But I just wanted to show you how you could just do a simple, you don't have to run an ad. You could just post this every once in a while on your Facebook page. Okay. So just post this every once in a while on Facebook, and you'd be surprised at some people that would fill this out. So you could do the same thing here. Now that is that way. Let me show you an even easier way to do this. Let me come back to my website and come to the home value area. And I'm just going to grab the link. Let me see how this looks. Even easier. Come back to my Facebook page. I'll delete this. Let me discard this post and do another one. It's still, this is the challenge sometimes that when you're playing with it. Let me see if it'll do it again. All right, great. So here's an even easier way to do it. Just what's your home worth? Okay. So let me do that one more time and show you how easy this was. Come to your website, go to the home value page, grab this link. I would be doing this once every couple weeks. Just put this on your Facebook page. Why not? People are connected with you. Put it on your, even your private Facebook page. You never know who might go to this. So I'm in my page. I'm going to go to create post. I'm going to post that link. This will pop up. Now you don't need this up here anymore. Now you got to describe what this is. Interested in knowing what the value of your home is? Okay. Your home value in today's hot market, something like this. Just click the link below to find out instantly, because when they do this, and then I'll come back and fix this, but you got to put like your call to action, all that other stuff. As soon as I post this, it's on my Facebook page, right? Now watch what happens when I post it and somebody goes to it. They're going to come here. And if you've never done this, you need to do it for yourself and test it. As soon as you put some information in here, I'm not going to do it right now because, and don't, by the way, never test KvCore using your phone number and your email because it knows you're an agent. Use another one or use a friend to test it. It will mess up, okay? But as soon as the consumer puts in their address and puts in their information, which will be like, so they can get the report, it'll pull up right here on this page. And they can download the report. They can have it sent to their email. They'll instantly get a report, okay? And again, remember, it's not accurate to their house. It's everything that's in their surrounding area, and you have to have that conversation with them. But you could just do that to generate leads. Now, you'll notice in Facebook, it's always saying, do you want to boost this post? This is how easy it is to boost a post on Facebook. And I can record a separate video. We're actually working on a class here where you come in and you fill all this information out. It's going to take too long to do this, but Maria, we can talk about doing a Facebook ads class for you where people can see how easy it is to just do this and put a budget on it. I might spend $20 and see if I can generate some leads, okay, with an audience and so forth, but it takes a little bit to do that. So let me show you how you can have KvCore do you pay KvCore to do some lead generation for you. So it works best if you have a new listing. This is the biggest thing. When you have a new listing, I recommend highly that you let KvCore generate, and you could generate a good, when I do this, because I do this with my team, we'll get 12 to 15 leads for about $65, okay? So let me come in and you go to Marketplace. This is how easy this is. You come to Marketplace and you do the property boost. You pay for it and they do it for you. Not here, this is for a company. Just come to Core Property Boost, and then it will have you purchase it. Now, I've already used it, okay? I've already used it, so this is good. So I'll show you what I did on one of mine. But the first time you do it, it's going to have you pay for it, explain to you, you have options, $60, $150 for 2 weeks, something like that. So I spent $60. We had one ad. I got 2267 impressions on Facebook, meaning it showed up on somebody's Facebook feed. I got 73 clicks, 16 leads, and it cost me $3.75 that's very cheap for Facebook or for ads. Then I can come in and I'll show you, there was a way to even send a report to the, there was a way to send a report to the seller to say, you know, we're getting activity and so forth, okay? So what will happen is you would get a notification, they'll come into KvCore, you got a lead, and what do? You do the best practices and you follow up with the lead that I talked about already. Highly worth it. I think the minimal cost is $60, but this is only for a property boost, and it's got to, I think it has to be your listing. Not sure if you can do a property boost.
You can do it for any listing in the office.
Yeah, but can they do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
they can do that here.
Maybe you just need permission, right, to be able to do someone else's.
If the listing belongs to our office, La Rosa Kissimmee or La Rosa Realty Celebration that is connected with this, they can do it for any listing from us, from our listing only. In your experience, I have a question of that because I know that you do this all the time. What is the conversion rate for all those booths that you do? Because if you get,
I'm going to tell you, look, online lead generation is horrible. Any way you look at it, it's a 2 to 3% conversion rate. You need 100 online leads to get 2 to 3 people to actually do a closing eventually. If you follow a very solid plan, the average real estate agent doesn't follow up. They pay for that and they try twice to call them and then they stop. That is why the average conversion rate is 2 to 3%. Okay. Now, I think it can be 5 to 8%. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're doing 5 to 8%, you're killing it with online lead generation. Lots of people are just looking. In the long run, you might get 5 to 8 leads for deals for every 100 people that you continue to nurture. No way did all those 16 people that came in, maybe 1 or 2 of them even wanted to talk to us, and we've got in a long-term campaign. Here's why. People start looking for houses almost a year away. Look at perfect example, Barbara. Remember, Barbara's looking at stuff right now and they're not even selling their house for a year. But if my girl Katie stays in touch with Barbara over the next year, I bet she can get the business, the listing and the sale. Average real estate agent says, this person doesn't want to buy now, I'm not going to stay in touch with them, and moves on. KvCore will help you nurture that lead for the next year, but you got to remember to call her every now and again. And you don't need to remember. What you need to do is let KvCore tell you when to call her back. You got it? So there is no magic pill, guys. Online leads is just one more thing that you do in addition to other ways you generate business from your database, holding open houses, other things that you can do, social media, farming, all the other ways that you do. This is just one way, but it works. I mean, we close deals all the time, but we need 100 leads to find 3 or 4 or 5 people to talk to.
Question. The information that you get from KvCore on this campaign, you're going to have the name, the email, and the phone number for the person, right?
Yes.
And you can put it in a hashtag for that house.
Well, what will happen? Yes, what will happen actually is when they do it for you, they create a hashtag that is tied to that listing that you did, and it automatically goes into KvCore. You can then go in and add anything else you want, but it will come in. And here, let me show you, because I'll be able to see. Let me see if I can find a couple in here, and I'll show you exactly where those 16 leads came in from. So I can search. Let me see if it says. Let me see if it used Candace. No, it's not that. I'll have to. I can't remember what the hashtag was. Here, let me do it this way. Let me see if I can find it. Lead details. They'll tell you this is the hashtag that you're going to have. So it would be, it's generally like Facebook ad, something like that. Let me see if it'll pull up OMT Facebook. Yeah, I can't find it. I would have to remember it was a year ago. But yes, what will come in is it will come right into your KvCore. So how KvCore does is they're running what's called a lead form ad. They take the information on when you fill it out, what's the listing, they build an ad and they make it a lead form ad. So if somebody responds to it, it pulls from their Facebook profile, their name, their email, and their phone number. Now, the phone number or the email could be wrong because it could be somebody who's been on Facebook for a while, who changed it. Sometimes that happens, but for the most part, we found that the information was accurate. And it's just you have to be so consistent. You have to keep trying for 30 to 45 days to try to get the people to get in touch with you. Don't try 1 or 2 times. You need to try 10 times to continue to try to. And that's what our first campaign is. We have a campaign built into KvCore, and they have some good campaigns in here, and you can customize them. We have a campaign that's like a 45-day that just keeps on saying in text and emails, hey, we see that you're looking, we just want to help you. Have you talked to a lender? Are you just looking now? Are you an investor? It asks a bunch of questions trying to get the people to just call us back. Okay. So here's our buyer lead campaign right here that we designed. And when somebody comes in from our Facebook, they're getting all these things. See how many things are happening initially, day 1, day 3, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 20. And then, so for 45 days, they're getting a ton of stuff from us because we're trying to get them to respond. At the end of this, even down to this, look at this last one. I particularly like this one. Let me preview this email. It says, hey, first name, I've been trying to connect with you for a few weeks, and since you haven't told me to stop calling, texting, or emailing you, I'm thinking you might just be busy and haven't had time to let me know if I can be of service. We pride ourselves on being pleasantly persistent. We're ready, willing, and able to help. Just let me know, even if it's to say you're not interested or you're working with another realtor. That's how we end our 45-day campaign. Why? Because here's the deal, guys. People are just busy. Everyone's busy. If they haven't unsubscribed from your email or your text, they're okay with it, right? So have a 45-day campaign for new leads that has, just look at the one that's in KvCore. You can simply add other things to it. That's a more advanced things that we can talk about in future things, Maria, if you want to. But right now, I want to help you stay focused. Honestly, KvCore has so much in it. I just want you to not get overwhelmed by just starting somewhere. All these things I did it over time. I taught myself how to use KvCore. How? Using it, number one, watching some of their videos, number two, learning, making it better, tweaking it a little bit. And then I love it now because it works for us. It generates business and it converts leads. And then it tells me who I need to call. It tells my agents who they need to call. I really, really do love it. Okay. All right. Let me see what other questions you have, because I can show you one other kind of fun thing that you can do. That's a cool idea to generate additional leads. Unless, Maria, there's some other questions.
I don't see any other questions in the chat.
All right, let me just show you one other way that you can do so let's say you want to create a page that you post up on Facebook, your Facebook page, and then maybe do a boost yourself that simply says, looking for a great deal, or for homes under a certain price point. So let me just walk through that, because sometimes people are looking for those good deals, or it could be distressed properties. It could be anything that you can search for. So I'm going to do what's called a landing page that has a certain type of home on it that you only have to do it one time and save the link, and you can post it every now and again, and it could potentially drive leads to you. So again, you come into marketing autopilot, and we go, no, sorry, I need to be in lead engine. So in the lead engine, I'm going to go again to a squeeze page. Okay, actually I have to pick who I am. So let me do that again. O'Brien Marabi team, and start building. So I'll come in here. Now I'm going to do a multiple property search. So this is just like a little search. I could draw on a map if I wanted to say a certain area of town, but I'm going to come in and I'm going to say a listing type. So I only want single family. This is what my post is going to say. Single family homes that are one story. I don't know about out here, but in Vegas, this is a big thing. People look for one story homes. Okay. So I'm going to go single family, one story, maximum price, $350,000. All right. Now I'm not even going to go any more than that. I could say square footage. I could do beds, baths. I'm just going to say, looking for a one-story home in the Las Vegas area under 350. Click here to get a list of properties that are updated daily. That's going to be my post. All right. All I did was come in to lead engine squeeze page, choose multiple property, and put my search in. Now I have to come over here and do the rest of it. This only takes like a minute. Again, I'm going to call it, it's going to come from Facebook. I could choose a hashtag. So I'm going to call this 350K single story. Now, why am I doing this? Because I want to know what did they respond to? Because if I'm running a lot of posts and ads, I want to have that saying, this is my 350K single story post, right? Now, Facebook cover is saying, what photo do you want KvCore to put on your Facebook post? Use the listing from the search results is generally what you do. You could use a listing from your, your own properties. You could use a high price listing from your agency if it's a better looking picture. I'm just going to see how it looks from here. This is really important. The next thing, it says, how many times are people going to be able to look at when they come from the ad or your Facebook post to your website? How many times can they look at a property before the little pop-up says register? I like letting people do at least 3 to 5. Don't make it be immediate. If somebody immediately comes to your site and they have to sign in or create an account, they're going to bounce. So I recommend don't choose never. or else you'll never means never get a lead, okay? Don't choose never. I recommend 3 to 5, okay? So I'm gonna use 3 in this one. Now, that's all I have to do, and I have to hit generate links so I can get the links, okay? Oh, I forgot to put area up here. So let me go, I'm gonna say Henderson again. So Henderson is a city that I was living in. So now I hit generate link, go and grab this link, copy it, I go to Facebook. Now I am going to create a post. Pop it in here. Oh, I like that. Perfect. Nice. Now I delete all that text, that link. Why? Because here's the link. Now I can say, looking for a single story home under, oh, I should have done one other thing here, which we'll do in a second. Before I finish this, you need to go make sure the search that you created actually has properties. I've done this before. So I'm going to paste that link in my browser and see how many it found. Okay, cool. It found a bunch, right? So it found, wow, it found, does that say 54? I don't have my glasses on. 54, 64. Cool. This is an awesome link. This is all the homes in Henderson that are under 350,000 that are single story. Now, what's cool about this is this link is always going to have whatever is the latest properties. If something sells, it'll come off the list. You could use this link all the time. So first thing that you do once I created it is this link is, as soon as I'm done here, this goes away. This whole thing I created, take that link, go put it in a Word document, calling it the 350,000 or less single story homes in Henderson link. Because then later you could grab the link and put it on Facebook again. Right? All right, so let's go back to Facebook. Now I have it looking for a single story home under $350,000 in the Henderson area. Click below to get a list of homes updated daily. That's what I would say. And then put all your information in there, your name, your company, your license number, whatever you're required for compliance, maybe even your phone number, right? Make sure you spell things properly. Also, a little cool thing about Facebook is use emojis. Add emojis, you know, like put in emojis of houses and different things. It catches people's eyes. And as soon as I post this, boom, I now have a really cool post on Facebook right from my KvCore that says get a list of single homes, all right, single story homes under 350. And again, when they click on it, they come to my website where they get that list of homes, and hopefully they'll start looking at things, and then as soon as they click 3 times, it's going to ask them to create an account. All right, is that helpful, everyone? I mean, these are easy, fun things to do. I didn't even spend any money on that. That's just seeing if I can get people in my own that follow me on Facebook to go look at a cool list of properties. Now, the sky's the limit what you could do here. You could come in and get distressed properties, okay? I mean, I don't know how many short sales foreclosures are starting to pop up. I don't have a ton of them out where we are, but you do this under type of, down here under options. So in KvCore, under options, hold on, let me scroll down a little bit. I've done lists like this to say, just listed. Here's a list of all homes that were just listed that meet a certain criteria. I could do fixer uppers. I could do adult 55 plus. Okay. Anything that's in here. You want to look at golf course homes or houses that have pools. People like to look for things like this. So if I wanted to do foreclosures and short sales that were under, I could choose that. I could come back and say short sales. All right. Let me see if it has any. I'll generate a new link. It changes the link. I'm going to go check it first. So I'll come in. I'll paste it into a browser and see if I have any houses. Only 2, see, not a lot in Vegas. So there's only 2 houses that are short sale or foreclosure under 350. That's not a lot, right? But maybe that's going to start happening more in the new year. You know, I think later when we get past these foreclosure moratorium and all that, we might see some more distressed property market come onto the market. However, not a lot. You know why? People have equity in their houses for the most part. We do. It's not like who's been around since 2008? I have. Maria has probably too.
Me too.
Who had short sales before? If you are new, you don't remember, but those of us 12, 13 years ago remember how crazy it was in Florida and in Nevada and Texas and other places. I don't think we'll ever get back to that. However, use your imagination. You know, what are people looking for in your area? What areas of town are they looking for? Just use this one thing I'm showing you. Every week you could put a different list up. This time it's single story under 350. Next week it could be in a certain town. It could be anything I just showed you, okay? So, all right, let's see. Let me stop for a second and see everybody's bright, shiny faces and open it up to any questions, because I know that was a lot of information.
A ver si están ahí en la casa modelo o dónde.
Any questions? I'm looking at your chat now. Now I can see your chat.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so let's stop.
There is a question. There is a question that if they unsubscribe, can contact them again? I believe no, right?
If they unsubscribe, you better follow the rules and not resubscribe them. You can try. I mean, if they unsubscribe from text and emails, you can still try calling until they tell you don't call me. Okay. If they unsubscribe, don't try to email or text. If they unsubscribe from calling but not texting, you could still try to text. You can always call until they say, please don't call me anymore. Okay. That's a great question. Now, here's what I want to leave you with. Anytime I do a training, I don't want you to leave today and go, that was great, and I'm going to get busy, and I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, and I'm not going to get anything done, right? So Maria has recorded it. She'll tell you where it's going to be up on your YouTube channel, I guess, yeah? Or wherever you'll have it.
Yeah.
Private video, whatever you're going to do with it. You go watch it again if you need to. But here's the thing. You need to make an action plan of 2 or 3 things that you're going to do to get started. So for many of you, it may be, I'm committed in the next week to at least get my list of people into KvCore. I'm going to send, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to send Maria kind of a recap email here with some of those things that she can send to you, like that template. Get your people in here, okay? Next, it would be use the best practices that I went over to follow up and check. No, if you don't have any leads, you have leads. If you know 10 people, if you know 100 people, call the people you know, have a conversation with them, keep it simple. Hi, Antonia, it's Jan. It's been a while since I chatted with you. I just want to know how's everything going. If I haven't talked to Antonia and she's on my list, I'm just going to have a conversation with her. And then I'm going to maybe share something with her. Like, I don't know if you are thinking of buying or selling in the future, or you might know someone who is, but I just find people love to look at houses. I didn't know, I probably never let you know I have this cool website, right? How easy is that? You're just having a conversation. Find something to have a conversation with. Don't be afraid. If you do that, if you guys have 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, you make a commitment in the next 30 days to talk to all of them, depending on how big your list is, I promise you, you're going to get some business. Why? Because you're taking action. Someone in your database right now is on Zillow looking at houses and they haven't told you about it yet.
Exactly. One thing that I want to create that I think is going to be hold everybody accountable and committed to it, because this is really important, guys. And this is a tool that, as Jan said before, is a really expensive tool because really works, guys. So in order for us to help you a little bit more, I'm going to be creating what we call a KvCore club. So I'm going to dedicate 1 hour every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So we can do things together. At least you can do it a little by little as the beginners, and we're gonna advance, and maybe we can bring Jan anytime back after you do at least the first step that you need to get it done. And then we can get, creative. What else we can do? What else we can do? What else we can do? Why this isn't working for me? And we can try to do this for at least 6 months and we will see the difference, right, Jan?
That 100%, and it just starts with doing, that's why I just want to encourage you to start working with your database for now. and at least get to that part. And then you can think about some of the other stuff I shared with you. But remember, the things I shared with you are tools that you have, like the home value piece, the fact that people can search for houses on your site instead of Zillow. Just share that with everyone that you know. Just that. I mean, I talked about new homes. We can get into that. You have a lot of tools. Just start with a couple so you feel comfortable with it, and just start with your database. Then you can start playing with once a week, putting that link of the sell page on Facebook. Just do that. You don't have to spend any money necessarily. Just do it. You could choose to have KvCore do some leads for you. There's so many options, right? There's so many options, but you just got to start. The more you jump in, here's the thing. Every single day, you need to open up KvCore. Once you get your people in there, every day, jump into KvCore, look at the dashboard. But no one's going to come to your site if you don't tell them about it. For your people that you know, when you start generating leads, they're already on your site. Now you just have to try to stay in touch with them and keep them engaged working on your site. Two different things, okay?
And the good
Just
thing
start
is that
somewhere.
the people that jump into your website and that is already there, they start the conversation, so you can call them. Even if they are in the do not call list, you can call them because they contact you first.
Okay. So, all right, good. So I'm glad we got this recorded. I know it was a lot. It gets overwhelming. Don't be overwhelmed. Just say, okay, you know what? I am going to be committed to learning this. I love what you're doing, Maria. KvCore Club, take it one bite of the elephant a week. You'll learn one thing, then you learn another thing, and you keep building on it. Then you're gonna start having fun with this thing. You can count on it. When you start to realize it, you feel like, wow, this thing is like I call it my virtual assistant. It's truly my virtual assistant. There's so many things that you can cover, and I'll help you, Maria, with tasks and a list of things that you can work on, and take one little bite each week, and you guys will all be experts, and you'll be getting a lot of business because of it. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll be back in touch. Everybody have a great day and go take action. Let's get to work. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day, Dan. Thank you.